This Dean TV video was made possible in part by Islamic Relief, working together for a better world, and by Guidance Residential, the #1 Islamic home financer in the U.S.
You wanna be at the top? Inshallah. Are we the cream of the crop? Inshallah. You gotta rock till you drop. Inshallah. Cause believers never stop. Yeah. MashaAllah. Come on.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. This is Naeem Muhammad at the Dean TV studio, live here at the Mass ICNA Convention 2014 Chicago. And we're here with our good sister, Kristiane Backer.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
How are you finding the convention this year?
Oh, it's really interesting. I'm absolutely enjoying it. Fantastic.
Excellent.
Gave a great talk yesterday with a massive audience.
Right.
Like, I don't know, packed full house. It was amazing.
Awesome.
And a really good crowd, totally into it, and a lot of young people, and, it's really nice.
What was your speech on yesterday?
Well, actually, it was on my journey to Islam from MTV to Mecca.
Hey, that's the book that we have here. We're plugging her book, like she said, from MTV to Mecca, and right there, how Islam inspired my life. Right, it says it all there. So you were a presenter on MTV.
Yeah, absolutely. MTV Europe.
MTV Europe.
Hanging out with the stars.
Hanging out with the stars, and somehow you wound up in Mecca.
I know, that's exactly right. How did that happen?
Yeah, so
it's all in the book.
Well, give us a
prelude.
Yeah, give us like a preview if you had like a trailer.
Preview. Well, here I was, interviewing the Rolling Stones, David Bowie, you name it, all the big, players at the time, enjoying red carpet treatment wherever we went with our camera team in Europe, going to all the VIP parties, living the high life.
Right.
Yet, something was missing.
Void.
I went on stage in front of 70,000 people. But when I came back to my hotel room, I felt a loneliness, an emptiness. And this feeling, I had it since I was a teenager, and I never knew what it was. I thought perhaps I'm missing a love or some, a boyfriend or something. But actually, with retrospect, no human being could have filled that inner void.
Okay.
Only the divine. But the divine was not part of my life at the time.
Okay.
So basically, it was, eventually I experienced a crisis. I felt really low and unhappy despite having it all.
Okay.
And
was it a quick journey to get to?
It was at that time. Yeah, well, this came actually in 91, 2 years after joining MTV. And at that time, I was introduced to Islam through not a long-bearded imam, but a handsome sports star, actually. Imran Khan.
Oh, okay,
the cricketer.
Okay. Yeah, we
cricketer.
definitely
know
him.
Imran Khan,
yeah,
you've been in England. And, and he was just in the process of finding his faith, and he did dawah on me for 3 years.
Right.
Mainly he spoke about philosophy and spirituality,
right.
that our soul needs nourishment like the body,
right.
And he asked me, what is the purpose of life? Why are we on this earth?
Right.
And I didn't have an answer. I had no clue, hadn't thought of it. So, it was really a warning, a wake-up call, a warning and a wake-up call, starting to make me think, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Does it really make sense? And so slowly I got into reading books, which, captivated me.
Right.
And I realized eventually this is the truth. And I went on many trips to Pakistan and met some lovely Muslims, warm-hearted, hospitable, very poor people in the mountains who were so generous despite their poverty and content. And I didn't know what made them, so content and so generous. But of course, it's the faith. And eventually, after looking into it all for 3 years, friendship was finished with Imran. I wanted to bring God into my life. I wanted to start practicing. And that's when the moment came. I realized if you want to
just
taste...
on your own, that was it. You were reading all these books. You were being so inspired. You're meeting all these beautiful people. But what made you push you
exactly? It's
last
not an
moment?
exactly. That's what I'm about to tell you. It's not an academic exercise. I realized Islam, just reading and meeting people. If you want to feel it, if you want to taste the spiritual fruits you're reading about, I realized there was only one way: get down on your prayer mat and start praying.
Dive right in.
And start practicing,
Right.
Of course, this was a challenge because it's all in Arabic and you can't, It takes a bit of time till you got the formulas and everything down to scratch, but
so how
that's what happened.
So was the community I mean, just for seekers who like you, would you consider yourself a seeker
Yes.
at that point? You were seeking for
Yes.
something. Did anything else play, or somehow you were automatically drawn to Islam?
I was always interested in sort of otherworldly stuff and spirituality in the broad sense, but it wasn't really focused. I
Right.
always also had a fun-loving side, and that had overtaken my life, you know, with MTV and the parties and
Right.
so on. But no, and then I was just, you know, introduced to Islam, and then it was very, very focused. And I didn't go about studying everything else in the world. I was
Right,
just busy
right.
studying Islam, and I liked it, and
Nice.
it resonated with me, and I just wanted to know more and more and more and more.
What advice would you give to like young seekers or people? I mean, one of the good things about Dean TV, it is, and everything that we try to do with Native Dean is try to make it very open.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of the program that we have and the songs that we've written are directed to Muslims, but we are all the children of people who converted to Islam.
Yes.
And we were born in it. And so we always want to make that something that would be easy for them to come into the religion. So people who are seeking, what kind of good advice would you give for those seeking, and then maybe advice for those to receiving the seekers?
Yes, good point. Well, look, I would go into a bookstore and just, you know, spend time and see what resonates with you. You know, we each
Like maybe from Mecca to
Of course.
from MTV to Mecca.
Thank
maybe
you.
like that.
Thank
right?
you. Yes, absolutely. That's a very good starting point.
Okay.
I'm mentioning a lot of books that inspired me in
Okay.
my own book. So
Nice.
all the books I'm mentioning is also worth reading.
Nice.
There are a lot of brilliant contemporary teachers. I would recommend going to conferences like these.
Nice.
Or when there's a speaker coming to town. I mean, Washington has amazing.
We're so spoiled in DC.
You
I
are
tell
very
people we're
spoiled,
so
like
book
London.
spoiled. They come through,
Yeah.
in London, because I've spent a bunch
Everybody
of time
is
there. There's a
there.
bunch of great guys there.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say to people who run into seekers?
But
So
also,
how should we receive
but also
them?
I would say, you know, speak to, make friends in faith, meet Muslims, you know, ask them questions, and also, you know, you'll meet a whole big broad spectrum, and everybody tells you what Islam is all about, but take it with a pinch of salt. Remember, these are only human beings. They're
Right.
trying their best.
Right.
And if something makes your hair stand up, research. Start looking into it. Where does it actually come from? Who really said this?
Check
and
the source.
sometimes check the source. And sometimes you realize it's a cultural thing that you do not have to take on. We
Right.
don't have to wear niqabs here in America.
No,
you know.
so tell me, where could someone get your book in particular? Is there a website?
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon.com, and hopefully in some Muslim bookstores. And and for the seekers,
for the seeker.
to be received, you know, to the born Muslims, basically, I want to appeal: extend your hand of friendship to non-Muslims. You know, and especially to the new Muslims, invite them, include them into your festivities, invite them for iftar, you know, for any special event, for Eid. How many Eids have I spent home alone, you know,
Right,
business
right.
as usual, because I didn't have any Muslim friends yet
Right.
when I was a new Muslim. And it's really important that new Muslims want to hang out with born Muslims,
Right,
with
right.
Muslims who are a bit further down the line, you know. It's really important we include them, and
maybe even be patient, because I think sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, be patient with people. And I think that's something just the
Yeah.
community could use a lot more in general. More patience.
Yes.
Let people accept them.
yes.
Let them do their walking. Let them
Yeah.
do their journey. It
Yes.
might not be as fast as you would want it to be,
True.
but let them do their
Yeah.
walking, and Allah is the guide.
Don't be
Allah is-
and
Allah
don't
is the
and
guide.
Allah's the judge. Don't start
Exactly.
judging anybody.
Right.
You don't know. Someone else's heart may be much purer, and they may not do everything the way you think should be done. Exactly. Be soft.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, Sister Kristiane. Again, from MTV to Mecca, this is our good sister, Kristiane Backer. Assalamu alaikum
It's a
warahmatullah.
journey.
Thank you so much. Give
Thank
her
you.
a round of
Thank you.
applause. And as we said again, you're watching Dean TV, always on, always live. Assalamu alaikum. Keep the faith.
Alive and kicking.
Awesome. Thank you so much.